What is up everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. After a great start for most managers in game week 1, we were soon brought back to reality with a disappointing game week 2, but thankfully I didn't fall too badly on the wrong side of it. In today's video, we'll be looking at how I fared out in game week 2, and we'll also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of game week 3. If you are new around here, please give the video a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you tuned into my deadline stream last Friday, we managed to hit 4k subscribers on stream, so I just want to take this moment to thank you all for getting me to this milestone. The next stop is 5k subs, so if you aren't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. Stick around also at the end of the video, where I'll be heading to a pitch in Galway for a real life football challenge to help me decide my captaincy pick this week. Let's get into the video. So looking at my game week 2 review, I managed to score 52 points for the week. In a below average week for most FPL managers, 52 points was actually a decent score, so no complaints on that. It did however see me getting a red arrow, and I've now dropped from 214k to 418k overall. As I said in my last video, it doesn't really matter what rank I am at the moment, as long as I'm inside the top million by game week 10, I'll be content with that. So we look back to Friday evening for the first match of game week 2, with Turner involved and with the hopes of a Forest clean sheet. Things were looking pretty good in the first half, as the Sheffield United attack rarely tested Turner, so the clean sheet was looking pretty likely. 2 minutes into the second half though, however, Hamer scored a screamer for Sheffield and wiped out that Forest clean sheet. Turner wasn't also able to get a third save, so he missed out on that save point, and rather frustratingly, Sheffield United only accumulated an XG of 0.49, so it was definitely the right decision to play him, but the wrong outcome. The only positive note was that Onana scored the same points against Spurs on Sunday, so it didn't really matter which keeper I played this week. Moving on to the defence, Estepinian continued his fine form with an 11-point haul after picking up a goal and an assist. This means he's now got 3 attacking returns in the first 2 games, and it's no surprise to see him snapped up by 62% of managers in the game. There was rumours floating around Twitter during the week that he picked up an injury in training, but thankfully this wasn't the case and he came away with that double-digit haul. He's now got West Ham at home in game week 3, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another attacking return here. After that promising start from Ben Chilwell in game week 1, he wasn't able to replicate that form away to West Ham in game week 2, as Chelsea conceded 3 and he only came away with a 1-point return. He was also hauled off just after 60 minutes, but I wouldn't be too fussed about the early substitution, as him and Mudryk were pretty much playing in the same position, and with Mudryk having the fresher legs, Chilwell had to make way. Chelsea now have a great run of fixtures starting off in game week 3 against Luton at home, so I'm expecting some big returns to Chilwell over the next few game weeks. We finish off the defensive review with Saliba away to Palace on Monday night. The big shock before the game even started was seeing Gabriel named on the bench for the Gunners, so that last minute transfer in game week 1 from Gabriel to Saliba paid off massively, as Saliba has scored 13 points in the first 2 game weeks and Gabriel has only scored 2. This 11-point swing could be the definitive factor in whether or not I get another top 10k finish at the end of the season, so if you were watching my game week 1 deadline stream, I really hope you made the move when the news broke. All in all, 22 points for my defence wasn't a bad return for the week. Let's see how my midfielders got on. So looking at my 5-man midfield, it's a pretty disappointing viewing, as Mitoma was the only player who could return. Estepinian set up Mitoma in what's probably one of the best assists of the season, as Mitoma scored a wonder goal, and then Mitoma returned the favour in the second half, setting up Estepinian for his own goal, and the Brighton duo came away with 23 points. It was another disappointing viewing from a United double attack, as Rashford and Bruno both failed to return. I'm still not sure how Bruno or Rashford didn't return, as Rashford headed over from 6 yards from a delightful Bruno Rabona pass. United were then denied a penalty from a handball by Romero, which should have been given, but VAR didn't give it. Anthony then hit the post from what would have been a Bruno assist, and laid on in the second half, Casemiro was denied by a great save, which would also have been a Bruno assist. It's been a disappointing first 2 game weeks owning the United double up, but they're now a Forest at home in game week 3, so I'll be hoping they can get some returns there. After returning well in game week 1, Martinelli and Saka both drew a blank away to Palace on Monday night. Rather frustratingly, Joel Ward kept Martinelli very quiet, but the main talking point was Saka not taking the penalty after he gave it to Odegaard, where he stuck it away for the winner. Odegaard said after the game that he did ask Saka if he could take the penalty, so that's why Saka handed the ball over to him. I'm still expecting Saka to be on penalty duties, but we'll need to keep a close eye on this over the coming weeks. Arsenal now have Fulham at home in game week 3, so I'm hoping that Martinelli and Saka can be amongst the returns once again and get back on track. All in all, only one midfielder returning out of my 5 was a disappointing game week, but my 5-man midfield have some nice fixtures in game week 3, so I'll be hoping there'll be amongst the returns this game week. Let's get on to the strikers. Erling Haaland drew his first blank of the season, which also means I've drawn my first captaincy blank of the season, as he was unable to return against Newcastle. To be fair, he was relatively unlucky, as he had a few half chances that he missed, and he set up Foden a few times, where he was only denied by Pope. Moving on to Sunday's game, Ollie Watkins made 2 returns in the first 2 game weeks, as he got an assist after he was fouled for a penalty. The main talking point from the Villa game was that Ollie Watkins didn't take the penalty after he was fouled, and it now looks like Douglas Luiz is on penalty duties. It now raises the question whether or not Ollie Watkins may be overpriced if he isn't on penalty duties for Villa. That being said though, he still has the 2 returns in the first 2 game weeks, so we can't complain about that. All in all, 52 points for the game week was a decent score, and I'm not too fussed about the small red arrow. We've now got 2 free transfers ahead of game week 3, so let's see how we're planning to use them. Before I show you my transfer plans ahead of game week 3, let's take a look at some key learnings from game week 2 that we need to take note of. So first off, Gabriel failed to earn a place in the Arsenal starting 11 for the 2nd week in a row, so if you do have him in your team, I'd recommend not getting rid of him. Thousands of FPL managers have already done this, and he's already dropped from 5 million to 4.9 million. Tomiyasu's red card against Palace on Monday night should see Gabriel return to the starting 11, but the uncertainty around his minutes makes him an easy sell. A big shock to the system for FPL managers was seeing Ollie Watkins and Bukayo Saka not being on penalty duties for their respective teams. This could lead to big implications down the line in future game weeks, and will definitely sway my captaincy picks if Saka continues not to be on penalty duties. From watching the United and Spurs game at the weekend, I'm still not sure how Bruno didn't return, so if you are thinking about selling him, I'd definitely reconsider. Mason Mount will now be sidelined for up to 6 weeks, so we should see Bruno in a more advanced role, so hopefully his returns will come. The last key point to take note of was that James Maddison was seen leaving on crutches after the game on Saturday. He now looks to be a big doubt ahead of the game week 3 deadline, so if you do have him in your team, I'd wait for Spurs' press conference before making any moves. Looking ahead to my transfer plans for game week 3, I have 2 free transfers in my back pocket, so I'm eyeing up one of these potential moves. Nick Jackson has been very unlucky not to return for Chelsea in the first 2 game weeks. The Blues now have a great run of fixtures, starting off in game week 3 with Luton at home, so I'm expecting some goals for Chelsea on Friday night. With Ollie Watkins off penalty duties for Villa, it looks like he'll be the man to make way to let Jackson come into the team. Watkins did score 3 goals last night against Hibernian, so he is making the decision tough, but I think I need to bring Jackson in with Chelsea's good run of fixtures. Bryan Mbeumo is a man in fine form at the moment, having scored 3 times in the first 2 game weeks, so he's definitely someone I want to get into the team. Marcus Rashford has been very poor in the first 2 opening fixtures, but I think I need to give him one more week with that home fixture against Forest, but he'll definitely be on the chopping block if he doesn't return this week. Looking ahead to my team for game week 3, if Jackson comes into the team, he'll be my only change, and that means I'll still have 2 free transfers for game week 4. My team is in a strong position this week, with 10 players all playing at home, and Haaland the only person playing away. Let's go live to a pitch in Galway, and let's see who's my captain pick this week.
Haaland for the Ironman.
So there's no surprise in going with Haaland captain for their away fixture against Sheffield United this weekend. Let's hope he can make up for his blank in game week 2 and come away with a double-digit return. He's also got a predicted point score of 7.9 points, so I'm predicting a haul this weekend. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 50 likes on this video. I'll see you all Friday evening for the deadline stream, and hopefully we'll get some Chelsea news ahead of the deadline. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.